7,
8,
7,
8,
7. Oh crap,
8.
we're not muted. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Howdy, howdy, howdy everybody, and welcome to the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. Round 4 of the playoffs is here at Kentucky. I'm Austin, I'm joined by Tyler Vickery. This is Racecraft TV. One more round to go before we lock in our 4 drivers. Tyler, how you feeling today?
Oh, I am feeling good today. I'm looking forward to the build next week. Just because of a lot of, well, okay, still tomorrow. For the whole week, I guess you could say I'm super excited for it because there's a lot of things coming out, and some of them are suiting me, especially for the upcoming 2021 season. So I'm looking forward to it.
And something to look forward to is the updated aerodynamic behaviors of the walls to stock cars that is coming in 2021. So we might see a little bit new driving styles taken apart in our finale, but currently right now it's still 2020 season 4 for these guys, and it's still playoffs round 4. And after last time by, Gabriel Ellison locks himself into the championship, and now we are just racing for the last 3 spots between Nicholas Sacco, Greg Wellen, Chad Coleman. They're in the money seats right now. And then it's a bit of a gap. Then it's Rhett Tucker, Richard Beasley, Derek Mullins, Clinton Castleberry, Mark Truxell, and Robert Richards are the remaining drivers in this round of 10. Who is going to be on the hot seat here today?
It's gonna be, I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting. I mean, when we look at the point standings, I mean, Gabriel Ellison's already locked in. He's currently at if the points were this way as it stands right now, Ellison's sitting in 4th, but he's locked in. You've got 3 drivers ahead of him, all fighting for the Champ 4. Nicholas Sosco, Greg Wellen, who is 1 point difference with 87 points. Chad Coleman is 7 points behind Wellen at 80. And then you've got Rhett Tucker, who is 16 point difference from the bubble line of Chad Coleman. So there's going to be some drivers that are in the hot seat and are must wins. I also look at Chad Coleman being a must win as well, knowing that he is the bubble driver right now. His focus, he's got to win this race. If he doesn't, he better hope that Rhett Tucker doesn't win or no one else further down below wins, and he can get ahead of Greg Wellen and be ahead of him by 7 spots. Otherwise, he might as well kiss the championship 4 race goodbye.
As we're here in qualifying now, Chad Coleman sitting in 2nd currently ahead of Nicholas Sacco and Andrew Navarro. Nicholas Sacco is close to championship rival as we are watching Keith Bradley jump up into 5th place. Right now, Rhett Tucker, he's below the cut line, currently standing in 5th place. He's definitely looking for a good race and just to finish ahead of a few of these playoff drivers. And he needs to be consistent in his stage finishes. He just needs to finish ahead of Coleman twice in the stages to get into the playoffs, and then make sure he's by Coleman at that finish.
Yeah, the state for Tucker, even though Tucker before has always had some very bad luck with not getting stage points, this race is key for him. He must, and I mean must, stay in the top 10 to get points, and he's got to hope Chad Coleman doesn't get any points, because Chad Coleman gets playoff points, that's going to be more points. That's going to push Rhett Tucker further and further away, and it's going to be a long grind. But the stage points are going to be key for a lot of these playoff drivers, looking out of the Champ 4, trying to get themselves in. So I mean, like Richard Beasley's, and I'm going to say this right now too, looking at the standings, Beasley's 1 point behind Rhett Tucker. So he's another driver that needs to get those stage points and get them now. Otherwise, he's going to have to race his way in, because with the amount of drivers we've got right now, we don't have a lot, and that's going to be a hard climb. Ooh, he had a big wiggle. Yeah, big wiggle there coming out of 4. But it's all or nothing right now for these guys.
Richard Beasley, after that time, he's the 2nd playoff driver overall. He now sits in 4th place. Let's take a look at Greg Wellen, who is, I would say, at the top of the points. Well, 2nd place in the playoff points.
Yeah, 2nd place in the playoff points, and all he's got to do is just run clean. He knows he's got to stay ahead of Chad Coleman, because, still.
Technically, correction. Well, it is correct. Technically, 3rd place of the points.
Yeah, technically 3rd place with Ellison already locking in. But he's got to be cautious too, because Coleman is 7. 7 positions is a big difference.
Ooh.
So wow, that was a
lap by Wellen, and that was his first lap too. He's definitely going for that butt kicker pole position award.
Yeah, and he scraped the wall a little bit there too, it looked like. I saw a little scrape. I don't know if it's going to hurt him too much. I don't know if it's going to count.
Went fastest through Sector 1, heading into the tri-oval across the line. Wellen, does he top the position? No.
0.08 of a second difference between his 1st and 2nd lap.
Very unfortunate for Greg Wellen, but fortunate for him. He will be starting on the front row, and he's currently the top qualifying playoff driver.
Yeah, and what's interesting is Mark Truxell again starting in the back. I don't know his ideas right now, because right now currently he has not put in a time yet. Brandon Bullock's currently sitting in pit road. So we got a few drivers still needing to do laps, but with a minute and about a little less than a minute to go, enough a lot of time if they want to get laps in. And knowing the how key of a race this is going to be big for a lot of these playoff drivers. So we're looking now. I mean, must win scenarios for these out of these 10 drivers that are in the that are still in the playoffs. Must wins are Rhett Tucker, Richard Beasley, Derek Mullins, Clinton Castleberry, Mark Truxell, and Robert Richards. Those from 5th to 10th. Those 6 drivers, they are must wins. And so they're must wins in this, and they've got to do everything they can. As we've got about 30 seconds left, and it looks like that's going to be it because Brandon Bullock's still sitting in pit road, and looks like we'll have our starting grid here set to go, as we're waiting for the timer to expire. As we got another 10 seconds before it expires. And also, too, the stages for tonight are going to be 40, 40, and 100 for a 180 lap race here at Kentucky. So now we've got the session flipping over, and we are going to get ready to start our grid. So
And taking our
go ahead.
butt kicker pole position winner, it is going to be Justin Michael, who takes the pole position award. The butt kicker pole position award. Let's go say hello to that number 87-511 Tactical. And he put on a amazing show over at Chicagoland last week. And oh my goodness, that finish at Chicagoland. What can you say about last round? A fuel mileage race to end it. And no one knew if they had enough.
Yeah, no one knew they had enough. I mean, Justin even said that he barely had enough fuel to even do a burnout. I mean, he thought he was going to have enough. He was close of running out. I mean,
Ellison.
Top 3, well, even Ellison was on fumes. Justin Michaels was on fumes coming in second, and he had a big opportunity to spoil it too, and it was oh so close of being a big spoiler.
Well, he is our butt kicker pole position winner, so congratulations to Justin Michael. Let's walk you through the grid as everyone gets set here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. Justin Michael starts up on pole, followed by Andrew Navarro. Kieran Church is... This is not the right grid. Justin Michael starts up on pole, followed by Greg Welland, Chad Coleman, Andrew Navarro, Richard Beasley, Kieran Church, Nicholas Sacco, Keith Bradley, Gabriel Ellison, Brady LaBeouf, Derek Mullins, and Jonathan Munda in 12th place. They're followed by Rhett Tucker, Clinton Castleberry, Clinton Sneak, Curtis Critchley, Eric Zimmerman, Bob Williams, Mark Truxell, Ryan Kendall, Robert Richards, Brandon Bullock, and Latham Joyner at the end of this grid here today. 23 cars lined up and ready to go here at Kentucky. Playoffs, round 4, last round before the final race of the season. Oh, it's gonna be a wild race indeed.
Yeah, wild race indeed, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of battling tonight, and it's going to be insane.
Certainly is, and I cannot wait to see what this race is going to bring us here today.
I don't know what to expect either, but fuel strategies are going to be key. Tire wear is probably going to be key as well.
Tire wear, fuel, and especially tire wear, because Kentucky has got that weird shape to it. Drivers are going to be very on edge here today. They're behind the iRacing pace car. You see Justin Michael warming up those tires. What will he do here today on the start? We're going to find out as they enter 3 and 4.
So, who do you think's going to win?
I feel like one of the playoff drivers is going to get into the victory circle here today. But Michael's not going to... Michael might be that spoiler as he puts the pedal to the metal. It's green flag here in Kentucky as we go green, green, green.
Great start for Wellen at first. He had to check up a little, and Justin Michaels takes off on the inside line, and look at the push that Chad Coleman's given to Greg Wellen.
Coleman jumps up into the first playoff spot. Now he's immediately looking down to the inside. He's getting a push by Richard Beasley, who's trying to push his playoff buddy up into first place and take control of this pack. They're going to get up into the lead, just barely ahead of Michael. Michael is there. They're going to be side by side as they lead out lap 1, but it's going to go to Chad Coleman right at the line. Switches over to Justin Michael, and then they switch back over through the tri-hole once more.
They're 3 wide further back. I saw it looked like Rhett Tucker was stuck there, and he is still stuck in there 3 wide alongside with Derek Mullins and Clinton Castleberry. Boy, this is going to be a little scary for him. Richard Beasley, one of those must-win drivers, taking the point currently as Greg Wellen slipping right behind him. But here comes Chad Coleman cutting off Greg Wellen as heading into turn 1 now. Beasley and Coleman are your first 2 cars currently.
Right on board with Richard Beasley. Looking at the back of the pack, cars going way up to the wall. But currently, everyone's kept it very clean as they start to go into a single file line.
Yeah, we had someone, looked like someone had a little bit of a blinkage there. We had some smoke in the air. But this is already a very clean start right now for Richard Beasley, as well as Brett Tucker, who Tucker's right now having a good fight right now heading into 1.
And Tucker down to the inside of Keith Bradley. They're going to go side by side, heading up into 7th place. And Tucker had a very rough race last time in the trucks. Over at Vegas. Y'all want to see that race. It certainly was an exciting one all the way to the end as well.
Yeah, and it was a rough race for Tucker. Tucker did not get a lot of points and then add in some of the big wrecks he had. So Tucker knows what he's got to do, and he's got to realize as well not to push the car early. I mean, it looks like he's pushing the car right now, but we'll see how. 40 lap. Ooh, as I believe that was Keith Bradley striking the outside wall there a bit. Not a lot of damage, but at the same time, this league has no fast repairs, so you don't get a fresh car. Oh my goodness.
That's Bob Williams. Bob Williams, heavy impact on the inside wall. Let's go for a Racecraft TV replay. We see Bob on backside of the track. Oh, he's just smacked the wall. Came across the track hard into the wall, and then he got underneath the yellow line. He's straddling the yellow line, but hey, we stay green.
Yeah, it stayed green, but man, that was really unfortunate for Bob Williams. Heavy hit.
It's Beasley, Coleman, Wellen, Michael, Navarro. Well, I need to take that back. Tucker down to the inside of Navarro.
Already Tucker up 8 spots from where his qualifying was. Tucker really struggled with qualifying today, but it looks like he's running strong right now. But the question is, we've seen this time and time again with Tucker. He pushes so early on in the race and he hurts himself near the end. Is that going to be the same situation tonight as well?
It may be, it may not be. We'll have to find out, but he's certainly getting a great run down to the inside of Justin Michael now as he's making his way up into 4th place.
As he's making his way up to 4th, Tucker's up to 4th. Wellen just following in line with Chad Coleman and Richard Beasley. I think these guys are trying to play it safe right now as we got another battle further up as Nicholas Sasko going deep underneath Keith Bradley in a 3, getting the better exit coming out of 4, and it might have the better run coming towards the start-finish line.
Sako's got a great run through the tri-oval heading into turn 1. They're going to go side by side into turn 1, and it's going to be Nicholas Sacco taking that advantage right there. Well, actually, mid-corner, it looks like Bradley has a better run through there. And also up front, they started to go side by side as that's Greg Wellen onto the inside of Coleman.
Wellen's taking the advantage now. Figured he better take advantage of it now. Wellen's giving a good fight as Coleman now drops to 3rd. Here comes Coleman, though. Bag had a really decent run, but here comes Rhett Tucker on the outside now.
Tucker going for that outside line as the fight here starts to go to 2 lanes now. because here goes Wellen on Beasley. They're going to go side by side by side by side by side, all the way 4 rows back. Wellen into the lead.
4 rows back, Wellen comes in the lead. Everyone starts single filing out now, coming out of 4. Woo! Richard Beasley got a little loose, and further back, Tucker's getting another run, trying to make a run on Chad Coleman, but it's not working right now as Richard Beasley is losing ground on Greg Wellen. You can see how quickly he's pulling away coming out of 2.
Yeah, Greg Wellen looking back at the rest of the grid. Definitely a big chase here today, but we need to talk about some of these drivers in this playoff. The top 4 are all playoff drivers. Greg Wellen, currently one of the favorites in the playoffs to just get locked into the playoff 4. Richard Beasley, he desperately needs to get up into good positions here. Chad Coleman in the same position as well. Rhett Tucker is below the bubble. He desperately needs to get into this, or else it will not be a playoffs with Rhett Tucker.
Yeah, and at this rate right now, Tucker's got to start playing safe. He knows Wellen and Beasley are pulling away, but at this point right now, he knows Coleman is in front of him. If I was Tucker, I would try to get around Coleman, or we got plenty of time right now still. We've still got 27 laps of this first stage. Stay up with Coleman. Don't push the tires right now. Find a better option and find a better timing of making a pass around Coleman just to try to gain at least 1 or 2 points on Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman, he is all the way down. Chad Coleman, he's sitting in 4th. He is the bubble sitter right now in the point standings. And so he desperately needs to finish ahead of Rhett Tucker no matter what.
Yep, and Beasley as well, because remember too, Beasley is also 1 point behind Tucker. So with
17
Beasley in front,
points behind Coleman.
Yep, and with Beasley being in front of Coleman and in front of Tucker, that 5th place spot is going to be flip-flopping right now to where Beasley is in front of Rhett Tucker as the race is running currently.
Yeah, currently it's Beasley chasing that bubble down. Greg Wellen overtakes Nicholas Sacco for the lead of the playoffs. For 2nd place in the playoffs, as Nicholas Sacco is currently sitting in 7th. Gabriel Ellison, a few places behind him, is actually, he's locked into the final, so he doesn't need to worry about anything in this race. He can even play a little bit of devil's advocate today.
Yeah, I think Ellison, the way Ellison's running right now, this is not typical Ellison, but he's playing the safe route. He knows he's locked in. He's staying with that top group just to see if maybe getting a little bonus point here and there. But he's looking at long game. He's playing patient. He wants to see what the tires are like after 40 laps, which is the smart move, especially with, you don't see him jumping out of line too much. I mean, you can see him right now just way further back, looking at maybe making a pass on Curtis Critchley, but he's not super aggressive like he was earlier on in the run, like he was in another race or two.
See Michael and Navarro going side by side through 1 and 2 right now. Drivers started to take a little bit different lines now and see which one's better for the tires now and try to get this track rubbered in.
Yeah, because when this track gets rubbered in, you can definitely see a multi-groove. And I mean, and add in too with tomorrow, once the build comes out, with what we've been hearing with all of the air.
Tucker.
Stuff, but Tucker goes sliding up a little bit there as well. But hopefully with all of this new aero package changes that they're doing for the next year, Tucker goes way, way wide.
He's going to lose 2 spots from that mistake.
Yeah, and Nicholas Sacco right behind him as well, and Sacco's going to try to make a move as well on the inside.
Tucker trying to get his nose back in there, but those tires, I think, are dead right there as Nicholas just sneaking his nose down in there on Rhett Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker just made one big mistake, and it's hurting him big time, and now he's trying to make up for it, but trying to make up for it's not going to help when your tires are overheated and you're just going to be losing ground now.
Oh, we got a car to the wall. back there, as I believe that was Kieran Church might have smacked the wall.
I don't see any damage from...
He got very loose going up into the wall.
So he may have just barely nicked it then. I don't... Oh, yeah, well, that's, yeah, that time he hit it.
Yeah, Buffalo is Keith Bradley on the outside. He's going up the track just a tad bit. One of the cars behind the main pack just smacked the wall. It came very awkwardly down the track.
That might have been. It could have been a possibility too of Zimmerman, but very cute, very unknown. As we're watching Derek Mullins trying to get a run off of Clinton Castleberry on the backstretch.
7th and 8th points right now.
Yep, and it looks like he's gonna get it done. So Derek Mullins moves up to 12. Still not in the bonus points though for the stage points, and that's what's gonna be key. As we got some cars jumbling back and forth over here alongside with Gabriel Ellison now.
Yeah, Ellison, only driver locked in to the points now as everyone at the front starting to spread out. Ellison's getting a good run on Bradley.
Yep, and I think Ellison knows that front pack is starting to pull away, so he's going to push the tires a little bit here, knowing he's been saving. We've seen how conservative he is right now, so I think Ellison's going to push the car, see what he can do, and see if he can catch up to this front pack here that is just giving a heck of a battle now as Beasley's under pressure of Coleman.
Coleman down to the inside, Beasley up high. Coleman gets a good run, gets onto the apron just a little bit, gets across the yellow line. And here comes Justin Michael down to the inside. They're going to go three wide.
3 wide, and Justin Michaels is going to almost play devil's advocate, but he played it safe. Navarro checks up a little, which gives Tucker a chance on making a run on the outside, but no one is going anywhere. Meanwhile, Greg Welland is pulling away from this group.
Yeah, the more they go 2 wide, the more Welland has an advantage of just running with this lead and getting out of the draft. Coleman and Beasley going side by side once more. We got a 6-way side-by-side pack 3 rows deep.
Boy, and these guys are throwing everything, caution out to the wind right now as we're on lap 24 of stage 1 as we got 16 to go. Make that, 16 to go, and then we should be getting ready to starting to work lap 25. So about 15 to go roughly, and a lot can happen still.
Coleman trying to hold that inside line, but that inside line has lost all its speed as Beasley just swung it around the outside and put it on the block on Coleman.
Ooh, boy. And did a little sideways wiggle there to try to get a little bit of momentum. Able to hold that line up, but it's just not going to be enough. Wow, yeah, Michael.
Justin Michael, the shot out of the cannon right there on the outside of the track.
But Beasley's got momentum again, and Beasley's taking it on the inside into 1 and 2.
That outside line is so quick now.
That outside line got so much momentum, but look at Beasley, though. Beasley gets a heck of a run, and there goes Justin Michael, just cutting him off, and he is taking off. Ooh, as Chad Coleman slides up a little bit, almost got into Andrew Navarro there coming out of 4.
Navarro and Michael are not in the playoffs, I should tell you. And, Navarro almost tapping the wall right there.
Boy, Navarro's pushing this car big time, trying to do anything he can.
Uh-oh, here comes Rhett Tucker. You see Coleman left Tucker a little bit of room.
Yep, it was close.
And here comes Sacco. He needs to lock himself into the points because he's currently third in the points now with Greg Welland leading this race. He is now our points favorite to be locked in.
Yep, as Nicholas Sacco is going to be playing it safe now as Beasley starting to lose some positions. Ooh, Navarro slides up the track a little bit. Forces Beasley way up to the high side of the track coming across the start-finish line.
Navarro and Beasley side by side as they're trying to catch up to Justin Michael, who just clocked out right now. in second place, trying to chase down Greg Wellen. And that gap to Wellen is closing down. Navarro goes down to the inside, comes way up the track.
That could have been disastrous. As here goes Beasley. Richard Beasley just cutting it down on the inside, trying to get a run.
You can see the desperation in Beasley as he's trying to get any position that he can to clear himself up farther up into the point to get past Rhett Tucker and stay cemented ahead of him. And you got to be aggressive sometimes, and that's what Beasley needs to do with 10 laps to go. A little bit of turn, a slide by Beasley after a tap by Navarro.
Boy, that could have been... Oh my goodness, as here goes Coleman diving it on the inside. As Coleman's going to get around Beasley. Beasley's now fighting with Rhett Tucker now.
This is not what they want to do. This is the bubble spot for 5th, looking into 4th in the playoffs now between Beasley and Tucker. And there's Nicholas Sacco sitting in 3rd currently.
Yeah, Nicholas Sacco sitting in 7th place on track currently.
And then Coleman is our 4th place driver. He's on the bubble. He desperately needs to stay ahead of Beasley and Tucker.
Yeah, and there's a lot of situations unfolding right now, and these guys are giving everything they've got right now. It's amazing though, seeing that Greg Wellen has pulled away a huge gap. Meanwhile, here we've got Richard Beasley, Chad Coleman, Andrew Navarro all fighting with each other, as I believe Andrew Navarro's now got pressure on the inside of Chad Coleman now on the inside, heading towards the backstretch.
Navarro's on the outside, Coleman's on the inside, Beasley favoring Coleman on the inside line. It's gonna, that's a very close run by Beasley. That outside line has the grip, though, but Coleman comes up the track in front of Beasley. And here comes Nicholas Sacco out of nowhere, down low.
And Nicholas Sacco, one of the best drivers on tire saving right now, just showing what tire save can do. And he's just pulling away and just making these runs so good right now.
And as we're talking about it, we got to fight for the lead between Wellen and Michael as well. And Greg Wellen, oh my goodness, if he cements himself into 1st as the stage ends, well, I believe he cements himself into the playoffs. But this is great racing. Wellen gets overtaken. Justin Michael into the lead.
And Justin Michael, look how quickly he caught up to Wellen, and he's just pulling away from Wellen ever so slightly too.
We go back to the fight between Coleman, Sacco, Beasley, and Tucker. This fight is playoff depending. Nicholas Sacco, 2nd in the points. Chad Coleman, 4th. Yeah, Sacco, 3rd in the points. Coleman, 4th in the points. Beasley, currently 5th in the points.
All right, man.
Caution is out.
Clinton Castleberry involved, one of the playoff drivers. Oh, heavy damage on that right side. He hit the wall hard.
Big slide, big slide.
Ooh.
Oh, and he hit Truxell right there.
And it was netcode damage too, from what it looks like. But
that's
boy,
gonna
that's going to be...
That's going to end the stage.
Wow. Yeah, as we're working lap 37, yeah, that'll end the stage.
Justin Michael wins stage number 1, followed by Greg Wellen, Navarro, Coleman, Sacco, Beasley, Tucker, Ellison, Critchley, and Church. Points go from 10 all the way to 1 on stage wins. You can handle all that math right there. But you're here watching the round 3 of the NRE, round 4 of the NRE Power Systems Cup Series playoffs here at Kentucky. This is Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after a break. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian builds. For more information about Artesian builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're back here live from Kentucky Speedway. The lights are out on the pace car. So we're looking at Justin Michael, our stage 1 winner. He currently sits in the front row. And coming out of the pits as they're getting ready to start stage number 2, it's Michael, Sacco, Navarro, Coleman, Beasley, Ellison, Church, Richards, Mullins, and Wellen. Your top 10. So Tyler, after that stage 1, how you feeling about this race?
That was a exciting second half, but I mean, very clean other than that, the 2 wrecks we had. Really unfortunate for Bob Williams and his wreck, but I mean, there's still a lot to be played for many of these other drivers, so it'd be very interesting to see how this plays out the rest of the run.
Very rough for Clinton Castleberry.
Castleberry,
he is a playoff driver too, and with that incident, it's not going to be good. But the pace car is back in. Let's go back to green flag racing in the hands of Justin Michael. Stage 2 is underway.
Green, green.
Very late start by Michael.
and boy, things are getting dicey already. Side by side already coming out of 2. 3 wide even further back as Keith Bradley's stuck in, and as we're watching right now, Justin Michael 3 wide as well for Craig Wellen, but these guys are giving everything right now as, oh, Richard Beasley trying not to give the shove to Chad Coleman there, coming back to the start-finish line, and Justin Michael's already got a car length gap.
Greg Wells gained up 2 spots round the outside through 3 and 4. Andrew Navarro going way up there as well. Wellen is locked in that second groove.
Yeah, locked in that second groove now. Wellen's just doing anything and everything he can as Beasley is holding on to second, giving a hard push right now, but it's just, oh my goodness.
Big wiggles.
In with the being
Coleman and Beasley had a giant wiggle coming out of turn 4. Justin Michael, he's falling down to 5th as all the playoff drivers take over right now. Coleman, Beasley, Sacco, Ellison, Mullins, your top 5.
Yeah, and top 5 are going to try to do everything they can as Chad Coleman leads on point right now. Richard Beasley doing everything and anything and everything he can to stay up front and even try to get around Chad Coleman, but no luck avail so far.
Look available, a little bit moves happening farther back in front, staying in the line. Let's take a look at the track map right now. Everyone in a giant packages. Look at that yellow line at the start. Those are all the playoff drivers up front. Everybody fighting for that final spot to get into the playoffs.
And everyone knows this is a must-win for them if they want to lock themselves into the Champ 4. Meanwhile, a few other drivers way further up, they know they've got to play it safe as well so that they can lock themselves in.
The only driver that doesn't need to be up here is Gabriel Ellison, the current points leader. He's the only one locked into the Championship 4 right now, and he is certainly playing devil's advocate. If he can take away those top points, oh, he can certainly play a giant role in this championship.
Oh, without a doubt. Take away some more points, add them to him. Oh, it'll be on for the Champ 4, but I mean, either way, everything with what Ellison can do right now, he could really dictate who he wants in that Champ 4.
Really, he can. It's all up to him as we see Greg Wellen and Derek Mullins going side by side through the tri-oval. Wellen down to the inside, trying to get back up into that front pack. Makes that move nicely. Jumps up into 5th place. Top 6 now, all playoff drivers.
Unbelievable how strong these playoff drivers are right now and how hard they're fighting, trying to get whatever points they can get.
We saw Ellison go down to the inside, gets up into 3rd now, as Richard Beasley and Chad Coleman are nose to tail with each other.
Watching Chad Coleman, Beasley trying to take a lower line, but get cut off by Coleman as Coleman's running a little bit higher line and then diamonding out the corner. Seems like that's the better line currently, is working lap 48 now of stage number 2. Beasley, top 7 right now, all single file line. It looks like no one's really wanting to push right now, as we're right now riding with Greg Wellen. Greg Wellen getting a little bit of a run, but got nothing he can do though, as Sacco and Ellison looks like they're also playing the safe game right now, knowing they still got a ways to go before the end of stage 2.
Yeah, only 10 laps into stage 2. Once they come around this time by, as we started on lap 40 evenly, and it will be a straight up 40 lap race to the end of stage 2 for another pair of great playoff points. Only up front, it's Coleman, Beasley, Ellison, Sacco, Wellen, still your top 5. Throughout the field, there are some little fights going on. Robert Richards is hanging on. He is at point. He's at 10th right now, and he'll be getting a point at the end of this stage if he doesn't get this move on Justin Michael right now.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get that done, it's going to hurt him anyways. But
Lowest
for Robert Richards,
driver,
yep,
currently on track, Mark Truxell, Quentin Casper, and Rhett Tucker. Tucker all the way down.
Tucker's got the damage.
Oh yeah, he does. Look at the front right.
Boy, already playoff implications there for Rhett Tucker. Already he's got some right front damage. We know how he is though. He's really quick with cars even with damage, but the one struggle with Tucker is he will push and push, and it'll be at one point he's got the tires super overheated that there is nothing he can do.
Back up front, Coleman, Beasley, Elson, Sacco, your top 4, as they're starting to form a little bit of a breakaway from Greg Wellen and Navarro. Wellen is kind of stuck in no man's land right now.
Stuck in no man indeed, and I mean, these guys all in a line right now, doing everything they can, but it's just it seems like it's a one groove lane right now, and no one can do anything. Everyone's just biding their time, and no one knows when it is the push. Ooh, as Richard Beasley gets on the apron there a little bit and almost made a big mistake.
Here comes Sacco on Ellison.
Yeah, Sacco's going to try to make advantage of it and get around Ellison. Try to gain a few points here, but it's going to be very close as they're coming back to the start-finish line. Give it to Sacco barely.
Made it stick.
Yeah, made it stick, and it looks like Welland's going to follow him into turn one.
The dive he had into the inside line from Sacco was very beneficial off that little wiggle Ellison had on the apron. And now that Welland doesn't have that, Ellison going to be using all the track to his advantage to get some speed off the exit to fight back, but that bottom line just a little bit faster. We saw halfway through stage one where it kind of swapped on him, and I think we're in that gray area right now.
Yeah, right in that gray area too, and it's going to be one of those question marks with that gray area. What can they do? And we're seeing it right now with what they have done, and you can see here Ellison just looking on the inside, but just can get the momentum. But at the same time, you can see that Hunter Penn's car, Greg Welland, just getting an even better run and able to keep up with Gabriel Ellison and not allowing him that position.
And also up front, Nicholas Sacco was looking down the inside line, a little bit sniffing for position as Derek Mullins and Andrew Navarro are going to go side by side, as well as Ellison and Welland still side by side of each other. And Navarro, oh, he is stuck back there.
That was close.
Here comes Navarro on Ellison.
You can just listen to the throttle at times as they're getting into the corner, just ever so slight lift just to get the car settled a bit going into the corner, and then back on throttle almost immediately.
Gosh, I love these cameras.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. There's some really good cameras.
Very good cameras and very good racing. Sacco and Coleman up front in the lead.
In the lead, and Nicholas Sacco looking on the inside, trying to take over that lead. Chad Coleman just getting a little better run, coming out of 3 and 4, heading to the start-finish line. Chad Coleman still hanging on to the lead. Richard Beasley doing everything he can, but it's just not going to work. Ooh, Sacco gets on the apron, forces Beasley way up the track. Greg Welland dives up to the outside now, trying to get a run.
Welland trying to hold it around the outside after that kill momentum for Sacco. Sacco has to check up, almost gets into Justin Michael now, who's on the outside.
And Sacco knows he's in trouble, and here comes Justin Michael on the outside. Everyone's starting to see that outside lane becoming the more beneficial line. And look at Michael just having a really clean run, able to get around Ellison, but just not able to get the momentum around Nicholas Sacco, and Sacco blocks him off.
What a race we got going. Navarro and Mullins side by side now, as they start to close in on 20 to go.
20 to go, and still a lot can happen here in stage 2. Everyone all single filed out. That's Chad Coleman still pulling away from Richard Beasley and Greg Welland. Richard Beasley doing everything he can to try to get ahead of Chad Coleman, just to try to gain some spots, but it's just not working out still. As right now, Chad Coleman, I mean, it's amazing. You got a 6-car pack right now, fighting fighting ever so dearly for at least a chance to make it into Champ 4. But they're all single file. No one's really fighting that much, and that's the shocking part that we're seeing right now with this race.
Look on from the crowds here at Kentucky as they race through this course. Sacco caught up high by Michael.
And it's like he caught him up high. Whoa, we got a car almost getting way loose back there. That was Curtis Critchley, another playoff drive. Or no, he's out of the playoffs. Oh, is he sliding up on Rhett Tucker? Curtis Critchley just struggling with that car right now.
They're outside the points too. Tucker needs to get his move on to try to catch up to Robert Richards, who is sitting in that 10th place. And Richards, he's in the playoffs, and he desperately needs his points.
Yeah, desperately needs the points, and he's got to do anything and everything he can to gain as much points as possible and hope for a miracle to happen where he can be able to make it into the playoffs, into the Champ 4.
Ooh, you see that? On corner entry?
That was close. That was really close.
Very big slide heading into there.
Yeah. Big slide, and those tires are going to be screaming, I think.
We're going to Sneed and Richards battling out for 9th place now. As Robert Richards starts getting up some ground and start closing in on that top 8. Can't believe we got an 8-car pack in the front of the lead, but Richards got onto the air.
Oh my goodness, Keith Bradley.
Robert Richards got onto the apron, almost came up into everybody. Keith Bradley took evasive action right there, but Clinton Sneed leads out the second group.
Yeah, Clinton Sneed and Curtis Critchley's slow right now. Lost a lot of positions there, and he's got even more damage on that right side.
This is the fight for 10th place and 9th place to get just even some points in there. Tucker sitting in 11th. Currently in 7th place now in the championship.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like the wheels are coming off for Rhett Tucker right now, and Tucker's doing everything he can, and it's just really unfortunate that it's not going his way right now.
Here's Justin Michael, our stage 1 winner. He dropped down the pack after winning it, and he's already been a little bit of a thorn in the side of Greg Wellen, who is now leading the championship after a successful stage 1. Nicholas Sacco right behind. And Richard Beasley doing everything he needs to do, and I feel like Beasley would be in 5th place right now. Where is Coleman? He's leading the race.
Yeah, Coleman's leading the race currently.
Take my dunce cap now.
That's why I'm like trying to get the points and figure out who all finished where, like the top 7 is.
Green and white flags out. 1 lap to go. Oh wait, no, 10 laps to go.
Nope,
10 laps to go. I'm better. I'll just. I'm just going to mute myself now and get my idiot cap on.
Happens to all of us, Austin. Happens to all of us. As Chad Coleman right now got a nice little gap. Got a 2-car length gap right now. They're coming back to the start-finish line. Nothing really happening right now. We're waiting to see what happens. Here comes Greg Wellen now on the inside. Sends it down low, but he has to check up a bit. And Richard Beasley now, he's kind of in the catbird seat on possibly losing a lot of spots here as Sacco couldn't decide where he wanted to go at first.
Gotta remember, going into this race, Sacco and Wellen were separated by 1 point. That gap's a bit wider now, But it's now Wellen leading the championship fight.
Yep, Wellen leading the championship fight, but right now, it's a dead heat right now, too, I believe, because with Wellen being behind 1 point.
He's now ahead.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, no, it'd be tied because
tied?
yeah, because Nicholas Sacco heading into the race was tied, but I still got to work on the stage points. Stage points could be a little different. I think Sacco might be ahead still by 2 points based on the finish. It's pretty close. We'll have to double check the stage 1 results later, as these guys are still fighting it out. Well, make that now Wellen definitely in the lead, I think, now, before adding in stage 1 points, as Wellen's now a car ahead. Ooh, as Michaels almost got into there. Derek Mullins almost gets into Ellison.
Oh, we got an innocent Justin Michaels off of the tri-oval.
He saves it. What a save, though. Keeps it off. Oh, watch the jumps, though. Oh, boy. Heck of a
10
save
points
by
from Justin Michael.
Heck of a save, too. Ooh, look at it. Yeah, it just snapped from underneath him. Boy. He could have easily destroyed the splitter there a few times. Boy, what a recovery. What a recovery for Justin Michael.
That popped open a gap to Chad Coleman as he goes 5 laps to go. Here in stage number 2, Beasley, Wellen, Navarro, Sacco, Ellison, Mullins, Tucker, Sneed, Richards, your top 10. Only 2 drivers are not in the playoffs here, Navarro and Sneed.
Wow. And Beasley is pushing ever so hard right now, trying to catch up to Coleman, but it's not working. Beasley needs to just play it safe now and just defend second, because right now at this rate, who knows what could happen with Greg Wellen and Nicholas Sacco, because, I mean, oh my goodness. Because something like that could happen?
Yeah, Navarro gets a great run on Wellen throughout the corner. Oh, he's going to come up the track a little bit. Almost bumps into Wellen.
Gosh, and these cars are getting super sideways now. These tires are falling off.
Anything can happen within these 4 laps. Wellen currently in championship lead. Now tied. Championship second place. Gotta keep remembering that. But now him and Nicholas Sacco are tied for second place in the championship, as they are separated by 1 point once again. Sacco looking down on Wellen, looking for that championship second place and championship third place between these two. Coleman sitting in championship 4th place. If he wins this, I think he will not be able to jump his way up into 3rd place, no. But with a good finish right here, he will widen his gap to championship 4th place, championship 5th place.
Yep, which would be currently right now Richard Beasley. But yeah, I mean, Coleman actually, I mean, based on how Coleman's riding right now and where we see Wellen, Coleman can close up the gap and potentially make Greg Wellen the bubble driver now. So the bubble driver spot's going to get really interesting here pretty soon.
But in this last race, you got to drive every race. You got to drive it like you are the bubble driver. Even if you're way off in the league, you still got to drive it like a bubble driver.
Yo, absolutely.
And there is stage 2.
White flag for the stage. We're working lap 80 right now.
Here goes Ellison on Wellen. Here comes Devil's Advocate.
Yep.
Ellison's already locked in. Wellen needs to do something to stay ahead of Ellison, to stay close to Sacco. He's going to hold it across the line. But it's going to be Coleman taking the win of stage number 2.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Coleman, Beasley, Navarro, Sacco, Wellen, Ellison, Mullins, Tucker, Richards, Sneed, your point scores for stage number 2 as they start to die down and head into the pits. You're here watching Racecraft TV for the NRE Power Systems Cup Series round 4 of the playoffs. Who is going to lock themselves in and who's going to win themselves points-wise into the Final Four. Stay tuned after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At Makoni Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.MakoniSetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. Makoni Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Okay. I'm gonna mute.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're back here live at Kentucky Speedway. Chad Coleman won stage number 2, and next is 100 laps of action here at Kentucky, here on Racecraft TV. As we drive around this pace lap right now, we have Tyler doing some investigative journalism, and he's going to have the updated points for y'all very soon, and he might hop in very soon. I just gotta, he'll let me know when he actually has those points. But it's Richard Beasley and Chad Coleman, our front row for the start of the final stage. 100 laps to go here at Kentucky. Who's gonna win themselves into the playoffs, and who's going to fight their way into there via points? And you can just see some rip and tear of some of these cars. Rhett Tucker got himself up into 8th place in stage number 2. He's dealing with some damage on that front right. Some of these drivers getting a little bit caught out by turn 4. We're going to see if these newer tires or older tires later on into this race, into this run, might have a little bit of a limit. If 100 laps to go, they're going to have to go 10 laps farther than they were in the stages. So we're going to find out. Richard Beasley is in control of the start. And let's get it on and get going here in Kentucky. Let's crank air up.
Green, green, green.
Oh, we got a slide. We got an accident in the back of the pack. Car heavily in the wall. That's Eric Zimmerman. Caution is not out. Zimmerman gets his car into the pit lane, but that was a big hit for Zimmerman at the back of our photos. Up front, Beasley leads out Nicholas Sacco, Navarro, Ellison, Coleman, Wellen, Mullins, Sneed, Tucker, and Michael. And taking it very early, Richard Beasley flying away from the field. Sacco trying to catch him up there. Derek Mullins made a move around to the outside of Greg Willen. Rhett Tucker right behind Greg Willen right now as Clinton Sneed trying to hold it around to the outside of Tucker. But he was just overtaken by Tucker as Greg Willen down to the inside of Derek Mullins. Nicholas Sacco, purple sector. Fastest lap of the race for him last time by as he's trying to chase down Richard Beasley. And Curtis Critchley has entered the pit lane. Oh, he's got some damage. As Wellen and Clinton Sneed are going side by side. This corner is going to start separating them to the pack up front. Sneed looking onto the outside. And oh, we got a car spinning. That's Robert Richards through the tri-oval. We got more cars spinning. That's Jonathan Munda coming out across the track. Munda keeps it going. Robert Richards is doing donuts in the infield. He's going to try to get it going again. And here is that replay for you. And oh, it's a hit by Munda. Munda got loose, hooked Richards. Then Munda goes flying through the track. Comes back up and keeps on going. Ooh. That's very hurtful for Robert Richards as Richards is in the playoff points. As Beasley and Nicholas Sacco lead this race. And Ellison and Navarro start fighting it out for third place. Ellison trying to stay ahead of Navarro, trying to keep his playoff hopes alive ahead of the 42. And look at Chad Coleman working his way down low on Rhett Tucker. Tucker stuck behind Navarro, pretty much getting blocked as Coleman flies down low and gets ahead of him, but it's Navarro on the outside having a little bit of speed advantage as Tucker gives him a little bit of push. Tucker going way outside as they head through the tri-oval. Tucker, after a very disastrous stage 2, wants to make it up, swings it around the outside of Coleman. And now Tucker's going to go for the 2-1 to go to swing around the outside of Navarro. I believe Tyler is back with us right now with the updated points.
And I've gotten through the top 5 right now. I was still adding in the rest just to make sure nothing else happened. Interesting standings right now. As of right now, with the points that we've got, Greg Wellen currently leads Nicholas Sacco for second by 1 point. Chad Coleman is right now sitting with 97 points. Beasley is now 20 points behind Chad Coleman now after the 2 stages. So it's
Beasley
the
sits
gap
in fifth.
got bigger. Yeah, and the gap
points.
got bigger. Yep.
Beasley needs to win this race.
Yep. Beasley is the bubble driver now. He has he is leapfrog Rhett Tucker by 6 points. However, because of the runs that Chad Coleman has had for stage 1 and 2, Coleman is now 20 points ahead of Richard Beasley. So this is going to be a must-win for Richard Beasley, since Curtis Critchley, Eric Zimmerman, and Bob Williams are right now currently out of the race or in pit road, because Eric Zimmerman is currently in 20th.
How far away is Coleman from Sacco and Wellen? Because Wellen's down in 10th right now.
Right now, 6.6 point difference right now. It's a 5 point difference between Chad Coleman and Greg Wellen, and
Okay.
then, or actually
Currently,
no,
Coleman.
4 point difference between Sacco actually, because Sacco dropped to third. Greg Wellen jumped up to second, so it's actually
Okay.
a 4 point gap to Nicholas Sacco
So
for
currently,
Coleman, and 5 point behind Wellen.
Currently,
Sorry.
Ellison leads the championship. He's locked in. Nicholas Sacco sits in second. Chad Coleman gets up into third. Greg Wellen is the bubble driver in fourth, as he is down in 10th place right now.
Oh, wow. Yep, that's yeah.
Matchup live.
Yep.
And
I'm
Richard
picking live.
Beasley leads this race. If he wins, Greg Wellen is out of the playoffs. If he doesn't,
Wow.
Greg Wellen makes it into the playoffs.
Wow.
Wellen gets up into 9th place on the inside of Clinton Castleberry. So now that bubble shrinks even more between him and Coleman. But it is a 5 points gap now. It was 4 points, right?
Yes, between Nicholas
We're
Sacco
tied now.
and Chad Coleman, yeah, it's a 4 point difference.
Okay, and to
It's
Wellen it's 5,
97.
right?
Yes.
Okay, now Coleman is in 4th because Wellen's in 9th.
Boy, this is gonna be mind-boggling for the end of this race. It's right now because of what's happened with Rhett Tucker. If Tucker doesn't win, or Beasley, boy, this is gonna get interesting.
And Chad Coleman, he needs to get ahead of Gabriel Ellison to get into the playoffs if Beasley wins, because he is currently on the bubble, or
Provisional bubble.
provisional bubble, as him and Greg Wellen are 1 point separated for 3rd and 4th.
And Curtis Critchley has taken it to the hauler. So that is 21st position for Curtis Critchley. Zimmerman is also 13 laps down and sitting in 20th. So as of right now, unless things happen, there is no chance that Richard Beasley will make it in on points if something happens to Chad Coleman, Nicholas Sacco, or Greg Wellen. So Richard Beasley is now officially a must-win.
Oh my goodness, this is heart-pounding action. The stakes are so high. Beasley and below have to win their way into the playoffs. And if they do, it's a fight on the bubble on who stays in.
Yeah, because the bubble, I mean, who would have thought if Beasley wins this, who would have thought the storylines going into this is going to be talking about all of the huge fight in the bubble spot.
Beasley!
Oh, Beasley's having a fight with a lap
Robert Richards.
traffic of Robert Richards.
Richard
Boy,
had
that
that
was
trip through the
scary.
infield right there. That lets Sacco catch up to them. Sacco looking down to the inside. Tucker looking onto the inside of Beasley trying to catch up to there. Tucker's offline just a little bit on corner entry. Gets very loose, and here comes Gabriel Ellison on Tucker. Behind them, it is Chad Coleman, who is now sitting on the bubble, as Nicholas Sacco overtakes Richard Beasley.
And now, with
Sac-
Sacco taking over.
That doesn't change
Yeah.
anything overall. Sacco's back
But-
in 2nd place, as it was just
Yeah.
1 point difference. And Beasley round the outside trying to hold it on Sacco.
I know, but man, the way this battle's going, it's like Beasley's gonna lock in with the win. Now all of a sudden he's out. Coleman's gonna be safe. Beasley takes over. It's a roller coaster ride as Beasley almost gets into the outside wall there.
This is nutty stuff here at Kentucky. Nicholas Sacco overtakes the lead.
Boy, this is gonna get really interesting here on these last few laps of this race.
So the places we are looking at, Chad Coleman needs to finish 5 spots or more ahead of Greg Wellen to stay in the playoffs if a non-top
actually-
5 playoff if a non-top four playoff driver wins this race, aka Beasley or Tucker.
Yep, because I was gonna go ahead and add in because the points right now, with the champ four, what the champ four is looking like right now is Ellison in first with him locked in, Greg Wellen sitting in second with 102 points, Nicholas Sacco in third with 101 points, and then Chad Coleman sitting on the bubble with 97 points.
And currently, Wellen and Sacco would be separated some more as Sacco currently leads this race and Wellen's all the way down in 9th place. Chad Coleman is up in 5th place. So it's that fight for 3rd and 4th right now in the championship that is really nail-biting.
Yeah.
There's Ellison on Tucker putting in a nice move down low.
And Tucker knows that he's a must-win now, too. I wonder if Beasley has a spotter, because if Beasley has a spotter, I would not be surprised if that spotter tells Beasley, you need to get yourself back in front of Sacco, because you got to race your way in now.
Beasley knew he had to race his way in anyway, as he was 16 points behind, actually 17 points behind 4th place anyway going into this race. Same with Rhett Tucker. I feel like they both were going to be trying to win this race from the outside. It was a very uphill battle from the start of this race.
Oh, without a doubt. And then with adding in the wrecks, it's going to be, it's threw some chaos in there as well. And these guys are doing everything they can to try to make it work for them.
And also, we must say, our words are not final with all the stage points and score calculations, so...
Yeah, because there is other bonus points, I believe, out there, and those bonus points we don't know of yet.
Yeah, I have been labeled in on some of the bonus points, but it hasn't been set in stone all the time.
Yeah, so there's still a lot in the air on who could possibly be in.
Navarro. Look at this. Navarro on
Navarro.
Tucker. Coleman up into 4th now. Coleman is in 3rd. Greg Wellen now sits on the bubble.
Yeah, five position difference, and boy, Wellen's now. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable to see who finishes where, especially if Beasley pulls off this win. It's going to get really interesting.
Michael on Tucker looking down.
We have the run there coming out of 3-2 actually, and down the back stretch, side by side, heading into 3, and Justin Michael gets the run, but it might not be enough. And it is going to be enough now as Tucker goes way up on the outside.
Almost into the wall.
And that was pretty close. That could have ended poorly. These guys are starting to really spread out. Beasley's now lost a half a second now to Nicholas Sacco. But there is, I mean, at this rate right now, there is green flag stop still yet to be played.
Wellen made his move on Tucker. Rhett Tucker is in the pit lane.
Ooh.
Very early. He's joined by Clinton Casper, his teammate.
I wonder if he...
He's going for the undercut of all undercuts right here.
Yeah, and...
That's 67 laps to go.
There ain't no way he's making it.
It's the undercut of all undercuts. We'll see what happens. But now, with Wellen up into 8th, Coleman in 4th. Coleman is now our 4th place bubble.
Boy.
You guys like self-serving a chaos because it's going live.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
As Navarro falls down to Mullins, who gets down to the inside of him.
And Mullins now is trying to make a make a run here. Derek Mullins is just not able to get the run. It looks like Navarro's looking on the inside now, heading into one.
Mullins and Navarro. Navarro riding on that apron, gets up the track and almost into Mullins.
That was a little close for too close for comfort. Here goes Greg Wellen now on the inside. Wellen tried to do a little slide job there, but it wasn't going to be enough. And Andrew Navarro's got the run on the start finish line. Woo! A little cutback action there too.
Robert Richards has entered pit lane with 64 laps to go.
This is getting really interesting to see what guys are doing coming into the pits. So very interesting with just tactics.
Eric Zimmerman is on the outside of the track right here, and the leaders are passing through him right now. Zimmerman's up into the wall. Oh my goodness, almost gets collected.
That was close.
And here comes Coleman on Ellison. Coleman's up into third. Coleman is clear of the bubble. Coleman's in third now, and position-wise and in the points.
Yep.
And at the end of the grid, well, at the end of this pack, it is Greg Wellen who is riding that bubble.
Yep. Wellen's riding the bubble, and I think he knows what's happening, seeing that Beasley is still not in second, but I mean, pit stops are going to be key here, especially green flag pit stops. So
they went 60 plus laps in Chicagoland, and I feel like Tucker can maybe get it through there, but 67, can he inch that car that close, or is he praying for that caution to save him? But currently Tucker and Casper are a lap down.
I think he's hoping for a yellow, but even then, Jonathan Munda is a lap down, and Tucker is 2 seconds behind Jonathan Munda. So, I mean, if a caution comes out, Tucker and Castleberry are still going to be hurt anyways.
Yep, they're battling out for the very last lap. The lucky dog position as Mullins and Michael go to stop sign. Mullins dropped off a lot of speed mid-corner. Here comes Navarro around the outside.
Yeah, Navarro on the outside gets a clean run as well. Got the draft from Justin Michael and able to make it stick with 60 to go now, working lap 120.
Tucker gets ahead of Munda. He's now the lucky dog.
That's going to be key as Beasley is still hanging on to Nicholas Sacco. Only a half second, so Beasley's starting to make a little bit of a charge, but a lot of questions though still on when he's going to pit and when is Sacco going to pit, because it's going to be really key for Beasley to have a really great pit stop as there's big battle further back.
Ellison and Michael getting a little bit sloppy within each other.
Boy, chaos further back with these guys. They're just fighting it out. Michael and Ellison having a really good battle right now as Michael slides up the track a little bit, forcing Ellison up higher on the track. Boy, that could have been it. That could have ended poorly for both drivers. As Navarro now comes swinging in on the inside, he slides up the track a little bit. Ooh, almost made some contact.
Almost contact with him. Navarro and Justin Michael fighting between each other. The more they fight, the more tires are going to be wearing out. And look who's behind him, Greg Wellen, who's desperately needing to get ahead of him to stay within the playoff picture.
Boy, this is going to get really interesting. These guys are fighting it out.
Actually,
Wellen, Kendall's in the pits.
Wellen is back into third now.
Yep, you're right. And Ryan Kendall is now in the pits. Mark Truxell is coming out of the pits as well. So pit stops are happening, and a lot is at stake for some of these drivers now with when they want to pit. Riding on board now with Derek Mullins. Mullins just getting a great run on Andrew Navarro. And look at Rick Tucker doing everything he can, being super aggressive, diving in a little low there, trying to get around Ellison. Ooh, getting really low on the apron.
And look at up ahead. Michael is behind this gaggle of cars. Rhett Tucker has made his way back through the grid.
Yeah, Tucker's made his way back through the grid and now chasing Chad Coleman now with those fresh tires. The question is going to be, when are these guys going to pit as well? Because there's a lot of questions on when these guys are going to pit. And I mean, boy, there goes Tucker just sending it on the inside around Chad Coleman. Meanwhile, Ellison having a really good run, trying to pull away from Justin Michaels as Brandon Bullock is in the pits now. Man, as these guys are really duking it out now. Everyone's starting to single file. The question is when these guys going to start pitting? Because a lot can happen now within these last few laps.
Anything certainly can. The lead at the front is breaking up, but it's all about when are these guys going to pit. It's just like a replay of Chicagoland, what happened there. With 60 laps to go, everyone died into the pit lane, but now we're at 53 laps to go. Who's going to make it all the way to the end of this race, and who's going to go first for tires? Who's going to go first for fuel? Who's going to have the strategy to make it to all the way to the end of this race?
And that's where the biggest question marks are, is I believe Rhett Tucker is back on the lead lap, I think, or is he close? Because I know Tucker's been pushing very hard with his tires.
He just, there's Sacco.
No,
there he is.
Yeah, he's closing in on Nicholas Sacco. So as soon as he gets around Sacco, if a caution comes out, this will be a freebie pit stop for Rhett Tucker if a late caution comes out.
I don't think so. These guys are racing very diligently around each other. There's the 87 of Justin Michael trying to look around to the outside. He's got the speeder up top there. Lap 129 of 180. Kieran Church goes into the pits.
Yep, Kieran Church comes into the pits on lap 129. So a lot of questions. It's starting to seem a lot better now that these drivers are starting to see that they can get closer and closer on having a little bit more fuel in the tank and can try to guarantee themselves. Ooh, as Navarro almost hits the wall.
If we look at our track map, I must acknowledge this. Our track map has a lot of yellow dots on it. These yellow dots are the drivers in the playoffs. You can all see that they're all in one giant clump. Rhett Tucker just got himself unlapped of Nicholas Sacco, who is in the lead. Gabriel Ellison in that 27 is already locked into the playoffs. Currently, how they're running, Greg Wellen just got back into third place as Derek Mullins dives into the pit lane.
He's one of our first big contenders of the race coming into the pits, so that is lap 131 of him coming into the pits.
Chad Coleman is our bubble driver. He needs somebody in the top 4 to win this race of Nicholas Sacco, himself, Gabriel Ellison, or Greg
even
Wellen.
Michael. Or even Justin Michael, because Justin Michael being a non-driver, or Andrew Navarro to win this race. As long as it's not a playoff driver that's fifth place or worse.
And that current top contender to take him out is Richard Beasley in that number 10 tied car.
And Beasley's doing everything he can, trying to catch up to Sacco, but he's already falling off by over a second now, as he's having a deal now with some last
Oh,
my goodness. Yeah, he's got some right front damage as well from that contact, and boy, what a save.
Look at this, right on board Navarro. He's got a lot of speed taken away from him. He's falling away from that pack. Navarro sits in 6th place. I'm going to say he needs to go into the pits this time to avoid a massive time loss.
Oh, absolutely.
This is great for Greg Wellen.
Yep. It'll be a smart move as well, as it looks like Navarro's not going to be pitting.
Well, we are not Navarro, so.
Yep.
See a few more cars make their way through the field. There's Richard Beasley getting his way past Eric Zimmerman. He's a few laps down, 32 laps down right now. And Munda and Richards are out of this race.
Yeah. Really unfortunate for Robert Richards. He just had no luck most of the season. Just
Derek
caught up in a lot of
Mullins, new fastest lap of the race. 29.8.
Oh boy. And look at him just slinging the car left and right. Going around the slower.
Is this Cars the movie? Are we on board with Lightning McQueen right now? Because it certainly looks like that first scene. All we just need is real guns playing in the background.
It seemed like it. It definitely seemed like it, because boy, the way they were running.
And Mullins outside of the top 10 right now, heading into the pits. Gabriel Ellison spins into the pit lane. No caution at all.
Good recovery, though.
Very good recovery, but this is our championship leader. He's locked into the playoff 4, and he just slides it into the pit lane, locked up the brakes, very loose on entry, but he makes his way into the pits, and he doesn't need to do anything in this race. He can finish at the back, upside down, anything. He is still making his way into the championship 4. He's already locked in by winning that massive race at Chicagoland last week. So we got a fight for second place now, the third place between Coleman, Beasley, and Michael.
And this is going to be a big make or break moment for Beasley, because the way Beasley's staying out longer, I don't know, but man, Beasley's losing a lot of time to Nicholas Sacco, and I mean, Beasley's starting to see this champ floor starting to slip away from him, as here goes Justin Michaels now on the inside.
He needs a win to lock himself in. Michael, trying to be a devil's advocate as well to prevent that opportunity. Behind him is the man who's on the bubble if he does win, and he will be kicked out. That's Chad Coleman, trying to do everything he can to make sure Beasley doesn't. But the man who's putting in the biggest dent in Beasley's plan, it is Nicholas Sacco, as they race around here in Kentucky. They're about to enter 40 laps to go.
40 laps to go, and the question is when are these drivers going to pit? Because a lot is at stake, especially for these playoff drivers trying to either win and make it in.
You know how the car handles with 40 laps to go. I will box right now, and that's what Nicholas Sacco's doing. Sacco into the pits. Michael into the pits. Very late pit stop.
Ooh,
Richard Beasley.
God.
Ooh, Michael, Richard Beasley and Chad Coleman continue their race out in the lead.
Boy, a lot can happen here.
A lot certainly can. There's so many cars a lap down. Rhett Tucker, currently the first car on the new tires in the field. Beasley stays out. Chad Coleman falls back just a little bit coming out of turn 4. They're continuing on. 40 laps to go this time by.
40 laps to go, and Beasley's trying to. I think Beasley might go one more lap before he decides to pit, because he wants that extra tire to where he can be able to fight, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
The freshest tires on the field right now. It is Derek Mullins. 100 and went into the pits on lap 130. He's right behind Rhett Tucker, who is leading the fresh tire squad, as Greg Wellen heads into the pits. And here goes Coleman on Beasley. Coleman around the outside of Beasley. Coleman takes the lead of the race.
And look at the 3 wide action further back. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my goodness, that's Derek Mullins on the inside and Keith Bradley on the outside.
And Keith Bradley's gonna take advantage of it too. Oh, there goes Richard Beasley. Beasley into the pits. This is gonna be the make or break moment for Richard Beasley. He's gotta have a great stop here.
Chad Coleman is staying out as long as he can. Nicholas Sacco just put it in the fast lap. No, Justin Michael just put in the fastest lap of the race.
fast laps are getting knocked down so quickly now. Lot can happen here.
And if a caution comes out, this entire field is going up in flames. 3 cars have not gone into the pits. Coleman, Navarro, and LaBeouf. Justin Michael is putting the new fastest lap of the race, 29.63. Rhett Tucker sits in 3rd now. He's the first car on lap on fresher tires to overtake a car on old tires. LaBeouf stayed out, didn't go into the pits, and that was a on-track overtake. Coleman into the pit lane.
Yep, Coleman in the pits now, so lots gonna happen here, and we're gonna be seeing some big tire strategies.
Justin Michael is lighting up this field on these tires.
Oh my goodness. He's flying right now. It's unbelievable how quick he is on fresh tires.
And Michael is closing in on Andrew Navarro, who is just entering turn 3 right ahead of him. There's Nicholas Sacco ahead of Michael. Sacco and Michael are fighting Coleman. He's losing positions now as he's coming out of the pit lane, and they're all catching up to him. He goes a lap down. Coleman's falling down the order. There's Michael right behind of Nicholas Sacco. Richard Beasley just put in the fastest lap of the race, 29.62, as he sits in 11th. With 35 laps to go. Who has the tires? Who has the grip? Who has the pace? Navarro goes into the pits, and it's going to be Rhett Tucker taking the lead.
And Tucker's taking
Almost
the lead.
25 seconds separated him and Navarro. An entire lap was put between Navarro and Tucker.
Unbelievable.
And if Rhett Tucker wins this race, he locks himself into the championship 4. But remember, he went into the pits on lap 112. Can Rhett Tucker pull off a monstrous 68 lap run?
I hate to say it, but he's hoping for a caution, because look in the background. Derek Mullins is coming in quick.
Chad
and
Coleman
Mullins is on way fresher tires too.
Chad Coleman just put in the fastest time of the race, 29.52.
Boy,
Derek Mullins within a second of Rhett Tucker. If Mullins wins, he locks himself into the championship.
This is going to get interesting.
Interesting indeed. And Mullins went into the pits on lap 130. The freshest tires are in the field right now is Andrew Navarro on lap 146, as he just went in there.
Nicholas Sacco and Justin Michaels are hard.
Oh yeah, they're right behind him. We got a fight.
Yeah.
We got a 4-way fight for the lead now.
Boy, this is going to get interesting.
We say we bring out the battle box? I say let's bring out.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Let's bring out the battle box. Tucker, Mullins, Sacco, Michael, the fight for the lead, and coming through like a train headed to India. Nicholas Sacco takes the lead. And here comes Justin Michael. Michael, Sacco, side by side for the lead with 30 laps to go. And they just leave Mullins and Tucker behind.
Oh, yeah, easily. I mean, all they can hope for now is a caution. That's the only way anything can happen with them. Oh, my goodness.
They both went into the pits at exactly the same time. Mullins went into the pits just 9 laps earlier than Tucker, miles before them. But this has thrown a massive curveball into the championship standings with Nicholas Sacco staying in second place of the championship. Now Greg Wellen sits in third, and Chad Coleman sits in fourth. As well, it should be. And Nicholas Sacco gets set up through that corner. Justin Michael takes the lead. 29 laps to go now.
29 laps to go, and man, what a spoiler this could be if Justin Michael can pull this off.
It certainly can, and this will be a classic finish indeed. It's looking like it as Michael and Sacco are inseparable as we ride on board Gabriel Ellison, who is locked into the championship and who almost had his race entirely ended after a massive slide into pit road. Here comes Richard Beasley, who's trying to get himself back into 5th place into the championship as Rhett Tucker owns that spot now.
Rhett Tucker right now owns that spot, and I mean, I feel bad for Richard Beasley. It seemed like he just did not have a great pit stop, and it's hurting him big time now.
Strategy just wasn't in him, but you got to remember, Richard Beasley went into the pits on lap 142. Out of every driver in the field, Beasley has the freshest tires of all the cars in front of him.
Yep.
Look at our battle for the lead, though. Michael and Sacco battling out. Justin Michael, our butt kicker pole sitter, trying to go for his first butt kicker victory lane victory here in the NASRA after a unfortunate 2nd place finish in Chicagoland last week, as we got a battle for 3rd. Well, really for 4th right now. Rhett Tucker getting overtaken by Beasley and Wellen. As said, those fresher tires by Wellen and Richard Beasley are carrying him through, and they're closing in on Derek Mullins.
That's Greg Wellen doing everything he can to hold off Richard Beasley. Beasley's doing everything he can, running that inside lane, but he's just not going to be working as he's running that apron trying to get around Greg Wellen, and it's not going to be enough.
They see Derek Mullins up there. Mullins went into the pits on lap 130. They're on 10-lap fresher tires. Greg Wellen makes his way up into 3rd place. Here comes Beasley for 4th. Can he train on Wellen just enough to get ahead? He is.
Yep, just enough, and he's just having to follow Wellen, but these guys are closing in.
4 seconds.
But the question is though, will they have enough time, as we're working lap 157 of 180? So, I mean, a little less than about 23 laps roughly left. And
caution is out. Brady LaBeouf is, oh man, he was just straight up teleported into the pit lane. This is what happened. Navarro on the outside, LaBeouf going down low. LaBeouf and Navarro getting into each other, and oh my goodness, a big wheel by LaBeouf, who comes across the track, and oh no. Okay, nobody killed him. LaBeouf towed, and now we are under caution.
Well, this is gonna get interesting.
Well, hello, tire strategy. Just throw that out the window. It's gonna be a battle to the death, or to the green, or to the checker flag, but it feels like a battle to the death right now between Michael and the field. Everyone going in to the pits for tires. We are here going to be watching this race into pit road right here, as here comes Justin Michael leading the field down. Who's going to take 4 tires? Who's going to take 2 with 22 laps to go? Who's got the strategy locked in? Who's paid off their pit crew the most? And who's taking them out for drinks after this race? There you go. They're all stopped in their stops. This is a good stop by everybody. I see cars going off for 2 tires. I see cars going off for 4. Who's going to be the first one out of the pit box? It's going to be Rhett Tucker off in the back. Derek Mullins, Nicholas Sacco going in, but it's going to be Justin Michael leading out the field. In the battle for second, it's going to be Greg Wellen leading out. Nicholas Sacco and Richard Beasley are inside of each other. Derek Mullins, Rhett Tucker, Chad Coleman, Gabriel Ellison, Ryan Kettle, Clinton Casper, and Mark Truxell are going to be your top 11 out of the pit road. 22 laps to go. Last round of the playoffs. It's going to be a short break for us, but we'll be right back for the finale of this race here at Kentucky. You're watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Kentucky for the final round of 10. 20 laps remain. When we go back to green, it will be 19 laps to go when they drop that green flag all the way to the line. Who is going to win their way into the championship 4? Who's going to fight their way into the points? Is a playoff driver outside the top 4 going to spoil the party for Chad Coleman, who is on the bubble? Or can a driver who is not in the top 4 or not in the playoffs spoil the party for Richard Beasley? Or, yeah, Richard Beasley is the top driver outside the top 5 who's trying to fight their way into the playoffs. The lights are out on the Mustang pace car here at Kentucky. I hope you guys are ready for this. Tyler, how you feeling about this finish?
Nervous? Because I don't know what to expect, and knowing how this finish is going to be, we're going to see a few wrecks. I can guarantee it right now.
I think these guys have been clean all day. These guys have been clean all day. Only mistakes have been causing these wrecks. Kentucky is a very wide track for these guys, and it's not really prone to multi-car collisions. It's just going to be very ludicrous dives. But with 20 laps to go, I feel like everybody is going to have their head on their shoulders right now and think of the bigger picture. So it's going to be I feel like it's going to be a very clean race, but it's going to be a very hard-fought clean race. Justin Michael is leading the field with Greg Welland, Nicholas Sacco. The top 3 will keep the championship positions the same. Pace car is out. Justin Michael puts the pedal to the metal. We're going to go green with 19 to go. And immediately Rhett Tucker and Richard Beasley dive down low. Nicholas Sacco gets a great start ahead of Greg Welland. And Welland dives down low as well. Gabriel Ellison and Derek Mullins going side by side, trying to chase back this field. Ellison, he's already locked in after winning the race in Chicagoland. As here goes Greg Welland on the bottom of Nicholas Sacco.
And look at Beasley trying to follow Greg Welland. Beasley knows he's got to do everything. He's got to push this car beyond its limits, trying to win this race. And look at him going down on the apron.
Beasley is hunting between Sacco and Welland on that bottom line, but look who's behind him. Derek Mullins making a move on Rhett Tucker.
Mullins making a move on Rhett Tucker. Mullins is another one that's trying to fight their way in and win to make it in.
Tucker being forced out wide as Ellison goes down low. Tucker heading way up to the wall. Greg Welland and
Beasley hits the
very
wall.
Loose by Beasley.
I think Beasley hit the wall.
He avoided it. There's no damage on his car.
Boy.
And look at the lead. Battle for the lead. Welland and Michael head for the lead out. Greg Welland takes the lead of the race. Either way, Welland makes his way into the championship for now. There is some questioning if he was behind Coleman that he would be on the bubble, but now that the bubble is completely behind him, he is going to be making his way into the championship. Same with Nicholas Sacco. But question is, can Coleman stay in the championship? Only way I see Coleman not making the championship for is if Richard Beasley or Derek Mullins get into the win. If either of these two drivers win this race, Chad Coleman is out of the championship 4.
Yep.
And Richard Beasley just put in the fastest lap of his race right now. He is flying. And look at what's happening in front of him. Michael and Sacco are going side by side. And for seconds, we ride on board Richard Beasley coming into 15 to go. The sun is glaring in their eyes as they enter turn 4.
Look how hard he's wheeling that car too. You saw how his rear kicked out on him coming back on the gas on 4. He is forcing that car to do many different things that it does not want to do.
He sees his opportunity. Beasley's putting in the charge. He's on the back of Michael. He's going all the way to the apron and the wall on the back straight to get himself onto the inside of Michael. Beasley trying to claw his way up into 3rd and get an opportunity to lock himself into the championship 4.
And look at Mullins now. Mullins is going to try to send it on the inside. He does. Mullins is trying to fight it out. Oh, this is going to be really close.
These two are fighting for everything to get into the playoff 4. Rhett Tucker as well, but Tucker is far off. Beasley just taps the wall just slightly, sending sparks across the road. Beasley, Mullins, and everyone getting a little bit wide. Tucker making a little bit move up there as well. As Derek Mullins having a little bit of connection issues right now, setting up a little bit of smoke, getting Richard Beasley back up behind Justin Michael as he's closing in and just trying to get back into 3rd with 12 laps to go. Chad
Beasley.
Coleman needs to at least finish this race to stay within fight for the championship as well. We must say that.
Yeah, because right now his two biggest competitors, Nicholas Sacco and Greg Welland, are both 1st and 2nd right now. So Coleman just has to stay up there.
He just has to finish.
Yeah, that's all he can do, and hope that Derek Mullins and Richard Beasley does not win this race.
No, he has to hope Welland, Sacco, or Michael wins this race. If Beasley or Mullins win this race, he's completely out.
Yep.
Or Rhett Tucker. But this fight for the lead, Welland, Sacco, Michael are top 3 with 10 to go.
And right now, Beasley's losing a little bit of time.
Beasley's falling back. He can't keep up with this pace. Unless these guys start having a massive 3-way battle or get into some kind of altercation with each other as Sacco puts on a block on Michael. Michael gets very down low all the way onto the grass.
Oh my goodness.
We got a lap car of Eric Zimmerman ahead of him. Zimmerman putting in a little bit of block on the apron. Welland, all these guys offline. It's affect everybody. Tucker was into the wall that time by. Tucker's falling down to 9th.
Oh, it really hurt Beasley and Mullins because they just lost another 1/10 of a second at least. And here goes the battle between 1st and 2nd. Oh,
they get each other. Sacco's off into the grass sideways. And he's back onto the track and he stays in 3rd.
Oh my goodness.
And hello, Beasley and Mullins.
They're loving this right now, and goodness. And now here goes Mullins now trying to make a decision and thinking better of it, but boy, oh my goodness, this is getting wild.
Mullins getting drifted up to the track. We see Justin Michael up there as well, battling out with Greg Welland. Side by side they go. Greg Welland using the track as all as he can to just stay on the inside of the track to stay ahead of Justin Michael. Michael, Welland, Sacco, our top three, just nose to tail with each other. Side by side they go, heading into third. Michael round to the outside, got a lot of speed on that corner entry. Welland got held up, and here comes Sacco around to the outside. He's trying to make that move, that outside line coming into play with 7 laps to go. Michael leads that time by. And here comes Greg Welland on Nicholas Sacco, but Sacco around that outside line. He knows how to make it work around there. We've seen him work his tires and save them, and he just took a trip off in the grass, and he's back into second place. Michael weaving onto the inside, then weaving back onto the outside, trying to break the track to not give anybody an advantage. Sacco holding his way around the outside, back into second place. What a drive Sacco's having. Justin Michael, though, leads it with 5 to go. This time by in Kentucky for the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. Final round of the round of 10, heading in to the championship 4.
And this is getting interesting. As here goes, because look who's in the mix now. Richard Beasley trying to do everything he can, and just not able to get the run as he's sliding up the track again. And look at Gabriel Ellison now making a move.
Ellison is already locked into the championship 4, and he's just making a statement right here. This is why I need to be feared. 4 to go. He overtakes Beasley.
Beasley's not happy, but he knows that Ellison's got his own prerogatives as well. So it's just gonna be a wild hornet's nest these last 4 laps as we're coming back to the start finish line now. Justin Michaels still leading ahead of Nicholas Sacco.
Nose tail with each other as they go. 3 to go. Michael, Sacco, side by side heading into turn 1. And they're battling. They almost touch mid-corner. And this allowing Greg Welland to catch up with them. They're going to go side by side heading into turn 3 once more. It's a late turn in by Sacco. There's almost contact. Michael holding that car around to the outside. Michael's got the speed off mid-corner. It's going to be a drag race. There's obviously some steady going on as around the outside. Michael is going to be leading it in with 2 laps to go. Michael, Sacco, Welland, Ellison, Beasley, your top 5. But it's all about the top 2 in the battle for the lead. Can it be Nicholas Sacco to cement his place into the playoffs? Or can it be Michael to put a little horseshoe next to it, say, I'm putting all of you on notice right now? We'll find out with 1 lap to go. Sacco gets a bit loose. White flag is in the air. 1 to go as they cross the line.
And they're spread out further back. Welland was trying to defend on Ellison. Ellison's going to cut down low. Here comes Nicholas Sacco. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of a run on Justin Michaels coming down the backstretch.
This is a move for the lead. Michael looks low. Ellison looks low as well on Welland. Sacco sends it into turn 1. Then turn 4, but it's not going to be enough speed. It's going to be a drag race to the line, but it's going to be Justin Michael winning here in Kentucky. The non-playoff driver brings it again, and in his second race in the NASRA, Justin Michael wins here at Kentucky. And he's getting a little bit of salute by Nicholas Sacco. What a amazing 20 laps we just witnessed. You said they were going to crash.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well,
Hey,
Justin Michael
at
wins.
least I could say,
Justin
go ahead.
Michael wins the race, and I love saying this. He's gonna burn it down here in Kentucky. Justin enjoying his sweet time, and he certainly earned it here. And there goes the engine.
I was just waiting.
And let's bring y'all our race results here. Justin Michael takes the win. Nicholas Sacco follows right behind. And oh my goodness, it's Sacco into the championship. Wellen into the championship. Ellison, he's already locked in. Chad Coleman is your championship 4. But behind, well, Ellison, it is Richard Beasley, Derek Mullins, Chad Coleman, Ryan Kendall, Navarro, Sneed, Truxell, Church, Rhett Tucker, Quentin Castleberry, Keith Bradley, Brandon Bullock, Bradley LaBeouf, Eric Zimmerman in 18th, followed by Jonathan Munda, Robert Richards, Curtis Critchley, Bob Williams, and Latham Joyner at the back of the grid. But the big talk of the field, it is our championship 4. Gabriel Ellison, Nicholas Sacco, Greg Wellen, and Chad Coleman.
Boy, that's gonna get interesting.
Once again, that race was insane. And oh my goodness. And I believe we do have our race winner sitting next to us right now. So let's bring him in here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Justin Michael.
How you guys doing?
Justin, what a wild last few laps you had to bring it into the championship. And last race at Chicagoland didn't go your way. Well, once again, you get involved in a final lap running. It looked like it was going to be another fuel run, and you come on top this time.
Yeah, I'm so glad it wasn't another fuel run. I hate fuel runs. I just like to go. So that was a really good race. The last few laps were really exciting. My hands are hurting because I was gripping that steering wheel.
Well, it's time to let go of that steering wheel and enjoy that win. Spray some champagne around, or some Coca-Cola, or some Pepsi. I won't blame you.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it was a fun race. Thank everybody out there watching. You guys for calling a good race. And Nicholas or Nick, whatever he goes by, he raced a really clean race there at the end. Hats off to him for not. He had every chance to wreck me, and he didn't even touch me. So I definitely appreciate that. And we made some good pit calls there. We really made up a lot there on that first green flag pit stop, the last 100 laps. I think I made up a good 2 seconds on him coming out of the pit. So it was definitely a really good night.
It certainly was, and you take the win ahead of all the playoff drivers who desperately needed their way in there. So you put a lot of them on notice today. And before we let you go to go celebrate in your own way, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, just everybody out there watching. It's hopefully it was a good show. Darren, he's I think I got about 6 text messages from him. He's a good friend of mine. He watches all my races. You guys, for calling a good race. John Hendrick painted my car. He always paints great cars. So we definitely want to thank him, and appreciate the owner putting on this league.
Thank you, Justin. Congrats on the win. You have yourself a great night. And standing by with Tyler, it is Nicholas Sacco.
Yeah, and boy, that was a wild race from start to finish for you. At one point during the broadcast, at one point during this race, we were talking about you were at the point where you were on the bubble based on how Coleman and Wellen was. Did that ever cross your mind that there was a chance that Richard Beasley was going to pull out a win and potentially you miss out on the Champ 4?
Yeah, I did the math before the race. I believe I was 8 points ahead of Coleman. So with the first 2 stages, I think going into the last stage, I was 4 points ahead. So I was keeping an eye on him, obviously, the entire race, and the 2 guys that needed to win. As long as they stayed behind me, I felt good, and obviously it worked out in the end.
Well, now going towards the race between you and Michaels, I mean, that was a unbelievable race there. Did you just feel like you had the good enough tires to be able to get that run, or was Michaels just outmaneuvered you enough there on those last few laps where you gave it everything you could?
Yeah, I was having trouble in 3 and 4 on the bottom line the entire race. I couldn't really get the grip that I wanted. I haven't run too much at this track, to be honest with you. So it was a little bit new to me. I was learning as I went, but anytime I got on the bottom line in 3 and 4, I had no way of getting around anybody. So yeah, it was kind of a struggle. I tried pushing it on that last lap. I tried diving in there, but again, same mistake. Didn't have any grip halfway through the corner. So hey, second place got me in the final 4 there. So that's what I was looking for, and that's what we ended up getting.
And and with the championship 4, and I believe the last race is at Phoenix. What's your game plan going into that?
I'm gonna have to practice. I've never done well there, so I've been kind of keeping an eye on that the entire season. I figured if I got into the final 4, I'd have to pull something out of a hat, to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. I have all week 13, so there's not many races going on. I should be able to get out there and practice a little bit. I have to obviously thank iRace Designs, the Buddy Project, BP Racing for Autism, everybody involved since day one. They've been with me. So thanks again.
Well, heck of a run again, Nick. And we wish you luck next week in the Champ 4. And I mean, awesome race again. And we wish you luck for next week.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
Yep. And Austin, I know you're sitting with another happy champ driver, a playoff driver that locked himself into the Champ 4 as well.
Yes, I am. I'm standing by next to the number 1 Pence Baseball Academy driver, Greg Welland. Greg, how you feeling today?
Feeling good, knowing that I locked myself in, and I know we put on a heck of a show there at the end for you guys. So this was a fun race.
It certainly was fun to watch, to commentate. There is a small time where you were on the bubble, and if the race ended right there, you would have been out of the championship. Did that show you on how tight this race was?
Bigger than that, I mean, these guys are just that good. I mean, you saw Rhett Tucker for a while there, even with all that damage, get up there and run up front again. I mean, these guys are no joke to race with, and you got to earn it.
Well, next round and the final next round's the final round. Is at Phoenix. What is your plan? And what is your plan against Ellison, Sacco, and Coleman?
Those are 4 incredible drivers, but just go out and win. That's all you can do. You just got to have the mindset of go out and win.
Well, win indeed over at Phoenix. It was an incredible race for you. You started on the front row. You did everything you needed to do, and you locked yourself in. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, definitely got to thank my sponsor, Hunter Pence Baseball Academy, and we just had a tournament over the weekend, and my son, Big Nate, went yard. So got to give Nate a shout out. He earned it.
Well, congrats to him, and I certainly he's going to be happy for you as well. Great day in the Welland family.
Yeah, 10-4, guys. Hey, thank you for putting this on, and I appreciate it. And also, before I go, I don't know if I'll get a chance to talk to him. Racing Sacco like that, I apologize, buddy. I'm doing everything I got to do to go for that win. And if I would have gotten turned right there, I would know it would have been my own fault. But that's just racing. It's nothing personal.
I'm certainly sure that he's going to be totally okay with that because he and Justin Michael were racing hard as well. Well, thank you, Greg. Hopefully you have a great afternoon. Congrats on locking yourself in. Over to Tyler as we talk about the championship 4 heading into the last round.
Well, that was exciting. And, I mean, pending points and everything, I think it's safe to say that we can almost confirm everything with who the Champ 4 is, with Gabriel Ellison, Greg Welland, Nicholas Sacco, and Chad Coleman. It's going to be a really fun battle for Phoenix, seeing what these Champ 4 drivers will be able to do in the race. And like from what we heard with from Sacco is he's really worried with Phoenix, and Phoenix is one of those tricky tracks. So I'm looking forward to next week and to crown a champion. And who knows? I mean, the way Justin Michael is running, my goodness, he's definitely putting everyone on notice for next season. Because both races that he's came in and debuted, he's finished second and first. So he's definitely put people on notice tonight.
Yeah, certainly everyone's on notice, but it's Sacco, Wellen, Ellison, and Coleman who are going to be gearing up for a final battle there in Phoenix here in the NRE Power Systems Cup Series. You're here watching the round of 4, but now we go into the Championship 4. Next race is at Phoenix. It's the finale of the NRE Power Systems here in the NASRA. I'm Austin Knight. I've been joined by Tyler Vickery, and I hope y'all have an amazing night. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.